For any Xbox or PlayStation codes or cheap games on any platform, use the referral link in the description. It'll take you to g2a.com. Use the promo code CHES over there and you'll get yourself 3% cash back. For all No Identity merchandise, hats, hoodies and t-shirts, follow the link in the description down below to the No Identity Fan Fiber website. Hey guys, welcome to episode number 15 of the Rail Oviedo RTG. We head into the January transfer window in today's episode. We have Alason at home first, then actually it's a full 2-week break until the next game, which is going to be on the 4th of January against Real Sociedad in the first leg of the double-headed round of 16 of the Copa del Rey. Now what I'm planning on doing today is the game against Alason, and then we'll have a squad report once we head into January, and then I'll probably, rather than play the second game, is just run down what my thoughts are and have a look at the finances and see what we think we might be able to do in this window with regards either transfers now or pre-contracts for next season. So we'll start with the game against Alason. Hopefully we can win it and go top of the table. But for now, drop the video a like if you enjoy. Subscribe to the channel too to make sure you don't miss out on any further content throughout the video. As we, as more information and more opinion comes across from me, let me know in the comment section what you think I should do in this window upcoming, and hopefully we can start off by winning this game. It's Villa out wide to Arejo. I don't know anything about this team or any of their players, so it's a complete unknown for me, as has been the case for a handful of the sides this year in the league. My knowledge of La Liga is okay, but my knowledge of the Segunda Liga is next to nothing. Like, I know some team names and a few players from some of the sides that may have been in La Liga in recent years, but other than that, I'm not too caught up on everything that's going on in this division. So some of the sides, like Alason, I have absolutely no idea what to expect from them. Like, what players are going to be quick, what players are going to be slow, what players are going to be good on the ball or bad on the ball. Like, who should I pressure in possession, who should I stand off in possession. So we struggled with that at the beginning of the year, didn't we? And that's where some of the questionable results came into account. But we played some more familiar teams in recent weeks, like Elche, like Getafe, like Zaragoza. So teams that I'm more familiar with, and I kind of know a little bit more about their squads, so I've been able to get better results. But it's games like this, like the one against Girona the other day as well, knew nothing about them and they caused me all sorts of issues, and we only just scraped a draw. Try and put it through here for Jonathan Pereira, but it hasn't quite broken for me, so I have no idea what's going to happen in this game. But 15 minutes in, it's still 0-0 and no real chances created yet. Michu bends that out there to Salvahon. His touch is good enough. Give that in there to Jonathan Pereira. Can you make me a run, please, Aris? He has done. Give that in there to Michu. Tempted to hit it from this sort of range, and I will do. And it was on target. An okay effort, as we found ourselves multiple times in that situation this year. I've not got the pace with Michu to break away, so I do have to tend to shoot from distance. And to be fair, 50% of the time, the ball flies into the back of the net from Michu from that sort of range. Unfortunately, this time that wasn't the case. As where's the foul there? Literally just changed direction. Unfortunately, this time not the case, but it was on target, so it counts towards the stats. If it were Ultimate Team, I'd have gotten 5 coins from a shot on target. Good old physical battle there in the midfield, though. Pereira will give this sideways here to Aris. Michu's gone again, and it's a good enough first touch. No, it's not. Oh dear, that could have caused them all sorts of problems. He'll pick that up, won't he? Not technically a pass back. 4 minutes to go, or 3 minutes now to go until half-time. 0-0. Oh, he's given that straight to Susaeta there, Toribio. Michu will lay this off to Pereira. Try and drop the shoulder. I could try and play Michu in again. Pereira's done well to get away from the defender, and there's space here for Varela, the left back. Now, Salvahon's finishing so far this season hasn't been that good, so I don't trust giving it back to him, but Michu's left-footed shot is well saved by the keeper. Try and put it around about the penalty spot. It's going to be the edge of the 6-yard box. There's 5 people underneath that. The man that got it away was the defender. Try and put it perhaps a little bit more towards the near post. That's not quite... I swear sometimes it just doesn't pay attention to the little circle. Michu went for that header to knock it back to his teammate and then just proceeded to miss the ball. Aris, oh never mind, it's half-time. 0-0 at the break. We've come the closest to scoring, but no goals yet. Russia into Pereira. It's just so many yellow shirts back here, I don't know where to go. Get it into Michu, and he's turned well. Michu in the box, Michu bang, 1-0. We only had 2 shots in the entirety of the first half. It's only taken 2 minutes to give us the lead in the second. Rolls the defender, turns him, and then powers it home. The man is just an out-and-out goal scorer. 1-0 to Real Oviedo. Nice ball down the line. Alejo could cross it in. He's drilled it in. clearly been doing their homework, because that's the sort of ball into the box that I've been conceding a lot of late, or a lot from of late. Plano will take the corner. Oh, that's a strange one, but he's let himself down there with his first touch, and Bahon will look to race away, and I've got Pereira there in space. Now, surely this has to be two. With Michu over there, we'll play him in. Oh, but has he got the pace and the legs? Yes, he does, but the shot is well saved by the keeper. Oh, that's where the pace of Michu just lets me down. If he'd gotten away from the defender there so that I could get the right angle on his left foot to just side foot it home, then we would have certainly made that 2-0 there, but unfortunately we weren't able to. Michu can't hold off a one either in that situation, so we'll stay at 1-0 now, but we've already had as many chances in the second half of the opening, or in the opening 10 minutes of the second half, as we did in the entire 45 in the first period. So positive signs that we might be able. Is that going to fly in? I thought for a moment it was. I got all excited then. Positive signs that we're actually going to extend our lead rather than just sitting on this 1-0 advantage we've got so far. Alejo, he's turned away well from one. Ball's dinked in, flicked on by Rocha and away. Pereira out to Susayeta, counter-attack. Mitsu's run towards me, which isn't exactly what I wanted him to do in that situation, but never mind. Off there to Rocha. Get it round the corner here to Bahon. He'll help it on there to Michu, and Bahon's made the run back again. Decent left-footed effort earlier on, similar again, but Dimitrovic makes another good save. He's kept us out a couple of times now. 5 saves he's made, as you can see top left. He's going to come for this as well. He's only going to punch. Who's going to get to that first? There's a foot race, and neither of them get to it. Eris will lay this across here to Rocha, and he'll give it a crack. Oh, he hit that hard. Got caught as well after the ball had gone. I would have taken a free kick in that situation with Susayeta on the pitch, but Susayeta will have to settle for just taking corner. Up goes, I think it was David Fernandez with the header. Costas into David Fernandez again. The right back finesses. Did that take a deflection? It did. It's going to be another corner. I thought for a moment that was going to finesse into the top corner. In it comes, and unfortunately David Fernandez this time heads down and away from goal. 17 minutes to go, just 1-0. He's kicked that straight at Lucas Toro. Very nearly kicked it out of play, but Bahon will get this to Michu. Give it quickly to Villalba, who's just come on as a substitute, and he's danced away. Aris, poke that through. Here's Susayeta for 2-0. There we go, tucked away nicely. That's going to be game, I would have thought, in the 78th minute. They've not threatened my goalkeeper too much in this game. I thought, as the ball was played through, as I turned back there, I thought the defender was, as he reached across, was actually going to get the block on it, but thankfully, just managed to get the shot away in time. 2-0 to Real Oviedo with 12 minutes to go. Pablo Perez forward there. Oh, if that goes in, strike. That was so very close to flying into that top corner. That would have been a hell of a goal, hitting that first time from there. Plano with a really good effort. I think that's actually their first shot on goal. I might be mistaken. I will just quickly check just to make sure. I think it might well be. It was. That was their first chance. There are your stats. 45% possession for me, but 12 shots, 9 on target. I've had all of the chances, but only scored twice. Twice is going to be enough to give us the win, but still, only scored twice. Alejo might cross this. He has done. It's a decent delivery too. There's a man underneath it, and with their second shot of the game, they hit the post. Well, now is the time to be causing problems when they need goals, but so far, either the goalkeeper, well, not even the goalkeeper, the woodwork or just inaccuracy has been their issue. 4 minutes to go, and we are going to get the win. I'm almost certain we're going to get the win. I'm 100% certain I'm going to get the win. Pablo Perez, though, could put things in question, but Juan Carlos, with the save, had that flown in the bottom corner, I might have changed from 100% that I was going to win down to like 95 or something. Decent delivery, though. Their keeper's up on all sorts. Why? It's only the 88th minute, and now Lucas Toro can use his extra stamina and just race away. Well, this is going to be 3-0, isn't it? Well, the entire half to myself, I might as well just keep running. There's no point shooting from distance. We will just run it into the box and then bosh. Well, there's 3-0. That was kind of expected as soon as I got out of my own box. Doesn't really need a replay, does it? 3-0 to Real Oviedo. Alcazar pushed to try and get themselves back in the game, but in the end, fell on their own sword and ended up conceding another goal. It's going to be 3-0 here, which should keep us top of the table, I believe. We'll check, of course, after this game is finished. That's a decent delivery, and Varela will just hook it away, and then fingers crossed as soon as we clear the ball, the referee will do us the favour of blowing his final whistle. There we go, he obliged. 3-0 the final score, Oviedo against Alcazar. That will be 3 points for us. 3 shots, 1 on target for them in the end. 13 and 10 for me, rather than 12 and 9 that it was when we just previously looked at the thing. And hopefully that puts us back in contention at the top of the table. I can't remember at the end of the last episode whether we were top or not. I think we were second, weren't we? By a point. I genuinely can't remember. I've recorded so many videos today. I will quickly check. It's the Copper Hispania up next, but I'll train a couple of weeks as we hit. Oh, we are top. Oh, by a margin as well. Top by 6 points. When did that happen? Top by 6 points. Cordoba now in second. Almeria third, and Elche have dropped all the way down to fifth. Elche had won 7, drawn 7, lost none, and they've now gone in their last 6 games 1 win and 5 defeats. How do you do that? How do you go unbeaten for 14 games and then lose 5 of your next 6? I don't understand. I really don't understand. Oh well, we're top of the table by 6 points now then. I don't quite understand how that's come about, but I'm going to go train my players. We'll head into January and we'll have a squad report. Right, then let's have a squad report, but at the same time as having the squad report, we're going to take into account position-wise, that's why I've sorted by position, and think about this upcoming transfer window. Juan Carlos is still my #1 goalkeeper. That will continue to be the case. Alfonso Herrero is growing, though, and not far away from catching Juan Carlos in everything other than reflexes and diving. So I'm going to continue to train him. His physicals and mentals are improving as well, which obviously helps. So we'll have to wait and see. Esteban is going to retire at the end of this season, so we'll lose him. But by the end of the year, Herrera will probably become my #1 and Juan Carlos my #2, but they'll both still be at the club, so I don't think I need to sort anything goalkeeper-wise. Right-back-wise, Jose Fernandez is obviously superb and will continue to be so this year and hopefully in next season as well, and hopefully maybe even the season after that. I might consider training his technicals, but he's 27, so I'm probably going to concentrate more on Ed Lewis, who's grown up 5 so far this season. Nice to see that his physicals are starting to improve. Most notably the acceleration and the sprint speed. That's what I want to improve. His strength is already 80, so that's probably good enough. And you can see I've been concentrating on his technicals, although he is growing elsewhere as well, outside of the ones that I've specifically been training. Played well in the games that he's played in, although only caught the 1 clean sheet in 7 games. Johannesson is going to go out on loan. He's unhappy. He is loan listed. I'm going to send him out on loan. Right back wise, I'm probably pretty comfortable right now. Costas is a player that I very much enjoy using, and he's currently on loan here at Oviedo from Celta Vigo. I would like to buy him permanently next year if we have the money. Or alternatively, I could perhaps look to loan him again. I can't put him on my shortlist because he's already at the club, unfortunately, and I can't bid for him during the loan cycle. So we're just going to have to try and remember David Costas. David Fernandez is another rock-solid centre-back for me. Not grown, but crucially not declined either. Played almost every single game, I think, so far this year. Very, very solid for me. Jorge Sainz is on loan, but for 2 years. So he's going to be an important player for us next season. Yosin, his contract is expiring. I'd probably just let that expire, to be honest. I'm not too keen on keeping him at the club. Oscar Hill is on loan, and he can just go back to... where's he from? He can go back to Athletic Bilbao. I'm not overly fussed about keeping him. I would consider a centre-back signing. In fact, I would most certainly consider a centre-back signing, considering the age of David Fernandez. So think about centre-backs maybe. Left-back, Christian Fernandez's stats are starting to drop quite considerably on the physical side of things. So I would definitely look to add him to the transfer list and look to replace him in this window if we possibly can. Varela, though, is superb and he will continue to be my starting left-back probably throughout the series, I would have thought, if his stats continue to grow at the same rate as they have done so far. John Reese is decent. 1 goal, 3 assists for him. Not a first-team starter. Actually, you know, yeah, he is a first-team starter now, isn't he? I threw him in ahead of Lucas Toro. Roche's stats are starting to drop. Now, that does worry me slightly. He is only 69 rated, but has played well. 7.7 average rating, 1 goal, 1 assist. I would consider selling him if someone came in, or maybe using him as make-weight in another deal, but I'd like to keep him at the club if I can. Lucas Toro is only on loan. He has improved throughout the season. I didn't get on with him at the beginning of the year, but he has gotten slightly better, so hopefully he continues to do so. He's only on loan till the end of the season, of course, from Real Madrid. Jonathan Villa, he's not on loan, I don't think. He is our player, 30 years of age, though. Again, we've got an ageing team here, so we'll be looking to not necessarily replace him, but bring in another player in that position. Borja Dominguez is good, but he's on loan from Cordoba. So there's not really much I can do about him either at this stage. I would consider bringing him in permanently, but I prefer someone with better physicals, to be honest. Nestor Susaeta, his stats are starting to drop now as well, which is a real shame. So we're going to need to look for a right-sided midfielder. He's still valued at 1.4 million, so I would consider selling him in this window, but I'd like to keep him if I possibly can. Viti is a youngster that hopefully is going to continue to grow. So he could be a genuine Susaeta replacement further down the line. I will consider actually starting to train him, although only 37 physical or 37 strength doesn't necessarily fill me with confidence. Nando's on loan until the end of this season from Valencia, so it looks like we could really do with a right-sided midfielder. Salbahon, his stats are starting to drop. I would definitely consider selling him on in this window to bring other players in, considering he's on, he was valued at 2.4 million. Oh, he's only recently joined the club, so I can't sell him on. Oh, God, that's frustrating, but that does mean that we can sell him next season, guaranteed. So that's what we'll do. Depena's on loan from Middlesbrough. Barely played for me, so won't really need to do anything about him. Ortiz is coming back from injury, and hopefully he can continue to grow. He could perhaps be the Salbahon replacement, although his technicals do need a lot of work. Michu, his physicals are starting to drop. Some of his technicals are dropping, but 11 goals in 21 games and 6 assists. Star player of the season so far. Don't necessarily mind too much that his overall has dropped by 1. Fran Villalba is on loan for 2 years, so we don't need to worry about that yet. Similarly with Joaquin Correa, although he's still out injured for another 4 months, so we won't see him between now and the end of the season. Jonathan Pereira has got 3 goals, 4 assists in 15 La Liga games. Not good enough. Would consider selling him on, although at times that pace does come in handy. Topche is considering retiring, so that means he's going to retire because he won't let me sell him on. So his stats are starting to drop all across the board as well. So definite striker, definite right mid, definite centre-back. Right mid, centre-back, striker. On my shortlist, I've narrowed this down a little bit. We still have Lovrencic, but it says right-back, but he can play on the right-hand side of midfield, and he would be more suited to that role, as you can see from his stats, and is very fast as well. So I would consider throwing in an offer for him wage-wise to see if we can get him to sign. I'd say important first-team player will adjust the wage budget automatically. He could be a decent player for us to bring in, and that would mean we could maybe sell Susaeta. If we can bring him in now, then we could sell Susaeta. We could sell Susaeta in this window, and that would free up a little bit more cash. Kike Femenia is a good player, but he's out of my price range. I wouldn't consider loaning a left-back yet, but Tejero, I'm keeping on my shortlist for next season. Similarly with Antonio Lato, can't afford him, but potential for next season. Javi Ross looks decent. I could contemplate loaning him from Real Zaragoza, but if I can afford him, I'll buy him, but I can't afford him right now. Jefferson Lerma is a player for the future, and I will most definitely be looking at him next season. Figuera is a player we could bring in now. If you wanted to consider selling on one of our ageing centre mids, we could bring in Figuera now on a free, rather than a pre-contract, and he'd probably just accept that. To be honest, he wants 3 years. I'll give him squad rotation player. He might accept that. In which case, we might be able to get a couple of pre-contracts, a couple of free agents in. Moses Ajur looks like he could be good with some training. Obviously, his physicals already look very, very good indeed. So if I can train his technicals, could become quite a rock-solid midfielder. At present, can't afford him, but his wages are very, very low. So if I can raise some money, he might be one that I go for. Might be one that I go for. Pablo Fornals is a player I am interested in, but obviously is well out of my price range right now. Marcos Caicedo is a left-sided midfielder. Can he play on the right? He cannot. 2-star weak foot, 3-star skill moves isn't the best, but I would consider bringing him in. He's on, it's a lot of wages though for a player that only has those minimal stats. I'd consider it. I would consider it, especially if we can, maybe next season, if we sell Berhon. I'm not sure. Aliko Bala has decent physicals, and we can obviously train his technicals, and he is still only 19 years of age at Zulte Waregem. We would consider buying him from Belgium next season. Ivan Alejo, we literally just played against him, was very good for Alcacern, so I would consider buying him, although his physicals aren't that good. His overall sprint speed is good, but his acceleration isn't that good, and he's valued at over $1 million, which is obviously money that I don't have right now. But would consider, at 69 rated at the age of 21, definitely consider him. Luciano is a consideration for next season, although I think his contract's expiring. It is, but he's on £19,000 a week. Can't afford that. Rodri is another player that I would consider signing. Also available on a pre-contract. He's at £8,000 a week, so he could be a genuine pre-contract signing option for next season, although I would prefer to bring people in now if I can, so he would be a backup option. Bruno Miranda looks like he could grow into a decent player. Currently playing is at Universidad de Chile, it is. So he's a potential for the future. Raul Ruiz-Diaz is another player that I would be very keen on bringing in. Again, though, can't afford him at present, but one for the future. And Lautaro Martinez, I've now got my scout out looking at him, and we'll find out what he's like in due course. And Aldo Kalulu looks like he could be a tasty player as well. How tall is he, though, just out of curiosity? 5'5". That sucks. I prefer someone that's 5'10 plus rather than 5'5", but again, out of my price range right now, so not really in consideration anyway. So they're the players that I've got on my shortlist. I'll advance this. Let's have a look at the office, actually. This is what I've got in my transfer budget right now. I'm actually going to have to adjust that because of the 2 pre-contract signings we've opted to try and make. So, or free agent. I keep saying pre-contracts. I'm so obsessed with pre-contracts, I'm forgetting to think about the free agents. And it's the free agents I'm looking at now. Transfer offers in. One for Michu, which I will reject, obviously, because he's my best player. And one for Juan Carlos, which I could consider accepting. I'll stall it now, and I'll show you why I could consider accepting that, or at least counter-offering it. In fact, we've had 2 bids in for Juan Carlos. We saw that 3 bids in for Juan Carlos. We've seen that Herrero is growing, and I have a youth player in my on my scout list. I think he's actually in the youth setup. He is Hurtado, 17, 54 rated currently, would come up as my backup goalkeeper, but I could then start training him rather than Herrero, and then, or continue to train Herrero till he's at a decent rating, and then start training Hurtado, and we could use that money raised from Juan Carlos elsewhere. Juan Carlos is a very good goalkeeper, though, so I'm not sure what to do in that regard. Luis Sanchez, I'm tempted to bring him up to send him out on loan, actually. Try and get him some first-team experience. Oh, I'm really not sure. I definitely want to start training him soon, though, if I am to do something. Valentin Prado, is 77 to 91 rated, potentially. Only 15 years of age, though, so can't call him up yet. Roberto Aguado is 82 to 94 potential. So, again, with some training could be good. And 79 to 89 for Ernesto Carrazzo. Sorry. So, I mean, Hurtado, I think I am going to do that. I think I'm going to offer him a deal. Say future first team player, and I'm going to counter offer for Juan Carlos for 2.5. If they accept the counter offers, if they accept the counter offers of 2.5, then I would be willing to let him go, but not for much less. Not for much less. I'd probably accept 2-1, 2-2, but I'll ask for 2.5 from all 3 clubs. He has been very good, but if we've got youth options, then we might as well put our faith in youth, considering that's what the Road to Glory series is supposed to all be about. And we'll see what happens in that regard. And to be fair, Herrera hasn't let me down in any of the games that he's played in, so we'll have to wait and see what happens. We've got one more day before the Real Sociedad game. We're going to get any more emails. We have 1. We have 4. That took a turn. We have 4 emails. Counter offer received. He wants 10 grand, and he wants 4,950. Herrera wants to play in the next game. That's good to see. And offer of 1.7 from Werder Bremen. Or counter 2.7. Apparently Juan Carlos is in high demand. Offer from Querétaro as well. I think they're Colombian, but I'm not sure. Do correct me in the comment section if I'm wrong. The Ranchix wants £10,000 a week. I offered him 8.4. I'll offer him 9. And I'll say important first team player. Would be playing at right mid, not right back. And then the offer here, he wants another few £100 a week. So I'll offer him 4.6. And we'll offer him squad rotation again. So we would be able to afford to bring in both. And hopefully that will get done in the next episode. But do drop me a like rating if you enjoy. Let me know what to do in this transfer window. We'll play the first game against Sociedad in the next episode. And hopefully we'll get the prize money. Oh, no, we didn't get any prize money, did we? Hopefully we'll start to get prize money from the cup competition. And then that might go into the bank before we get to the end of the window. We'll have to wait and see, though. Drop the video a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel too to make sure you don't miss out on any more. I'll see you next time.